All right, everybody, we're going to get started here right on time tonight. Everybody could take a chair. That would be great. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's get going. Tuesday night has come again. Let's give God a hand for getting us here safe and sound tonight. Welcome to Tuesday Night Life Recovery. We're going to open up in prayer as always, so everybody could grab their seats real quick and then take a deep breath and prepare for the opening prayer.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this beautiful day and this opportunity to gather together to learn more about you. I just pray that you open our hearts and minds for the teaching you have for us through Pastor Scott. And I pray for the still suffering addict that they find us or a place like us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Let's give a hand. We're a little light on crowd, but we can make more noise, right? So let's give him another hand. All right. As I'm grateful that you came out tonight, it's a little slippery out there, but hey, that hasn't stopped us before, so I'm grateful that you're all here. And we're also grateful for our live stream audience that's checking in with us online. Let's give our live stream audience a big welcome, please. Every week we have people checking us out on Sundays and on Tuesday nights, which also equates to over 1,000 people on a weekly basis. So that's an amazing thing. But it's also pretty cool that we can have an opportunity to share tonight's meeting with anybody that couldn't make it out tonight. So if you wanted to go ahead and do that, you can grab your phones right now. And all you have to do is go to the Serenity Village Community Church Facebook page. The feed will pop right up. Share it with some friends, share it with some family, share it with somebody that doesn't even know that it's coming, and they may tune in, and it could be a total game changer for them. So it's a good, great thing that we have that available. So please share this teaching if you would. So now, first-time guests tonight, and by guests we do mean family members. You're family to us. So if you're here tonight for the very first time on a Tuesday night in this sanctuary and you've made it out, first-timers, give us a stand, and we want to be able to welcome you. Stand up if you would. Awesome. 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. We would love it if you would come again next week, and if you would, bring somebody new with you. That would be a blessing to us. So we always love to see new people, so thanks for coming out. A couple of quick announcements before we keep rolling here. Monday night, as always, the same thing. We do things repetitively for a reason. Monday night is we have a great meeting here in the back room, which is the multi-purpose room. It's called the Monday Night Big Book Meeting. So if you're looking for a strong Big Book meeting on Monday nights at 7 p.m., run by the BSM guys and Nate, let's give them a hand. All you got to do is come right through the sanctuary and go through this entrance over here, and the meeting is right back there. So that's 7 p.m. on Monday nights. Sobriety anniversaries, we always celebrate on the last Tuesday of each month. The sobriety anniversaries on a 1 year or more basis. So if you are celebrating 1 year or more during the month of December and would like to be recognized for that, which we hope you would, you can sign up. There's a sheet out there in the foyer that you can just sign up and give us your information, and then as it approaches that date, I will contact you and we can get you up here and celebrate your day. So hopefully you'll do that. All right, here we go. This is participation time. Everybody say, Sunday. Church. Church. Sunday. All right, thank you. Sundays we have church, as you know. We had an awesome, amazing 9th anniversary celebration this past week. Let's give God a hand for 9 years for the church. We would love for you to come out. We have 2 services on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. Come to both, come to one, come to whatever you can. And that is also a live stream opportunity for you as well. So we certainly invite you to do that. So before I introduce our hometown friend speaker, we are going to go ahead and pass the basket and watch a video here. Passing the basket just simply means it's an opportunity for you to give back to this ministry that Pastor Jeff started 17 years ago. And it's also an opportunity to help with your stewardship towards the building. So if it's on your heart, just to give a little, give what you can, we would greatly appreciate it. So as the basket gets passed, go ahead and watch this video, please.
Life can bring us storms. Those moments where we wonder, doubt. The journey doesn't stop, but the progress does. It can be lonely, painful. Sometimes we try to stare it down, as if we could somehow will it to go away. Or we think we can go toe-to-toe and come out the other side, unscathed. We often forget just how small we are. The truth is, storms are inevitable. But when they appear, we have a protector, a savior who knows a thing or two about calming storms, a God who is a stronghold in times of trouble. In our weakness, He is strong. In our fear, He is courage. In our desperation, He is peace. Yes, storms are inevitable, but our God is invincible.
So at this time, with no further delay, I want to introduce our own hometown pastor. He's our Serenity Village Community Church recovery pastor and counselor and many things to all of us. He's also the executive director of Metro Hope Ministries and the New Hope Center. So he wears a lot of hats and he does a great job, and we love to hear him teach. So let's welcome Pastor Scott Person.
Good evening. Glad you all could make it out. You toughed it out through the weather. I know Pastor Jeff would say, I'd be at the bar right now. Like, weather didn't hold me up. Oh, it's snowing, I can't make it. Well, that's true, but it's also a reality that at times things get in our way. We have good intentions. We want to get to the meeting, but traffic. I want to have time to get home and wash the grime off and put on my meeting clothes, whatever that is. And I'm speaking from experience. I mean, I had my best on when I came to a meeting. You never know who you might meet. You know what I mean? It was more like a dating service than it was. I didn't care who was speaking. That sounds great. It's not the microphone or the people wiring me up, it's me. I guess I have an awkward speaking style, so I turn my head all the time. So if the sound is a little funny, it's just blame it on me. Let's honor Pastor Jeff and First Lady Monica, because without them, none of this would be happening. None of it. I definitely wouldn't be up here. I most likely wouldn't have been alive because it took the Lord to put someone in my life to show me the way. And Pastor Jeff was that guy. You know, I had prayed in treatment, Lord, surround me with men of integrity, and he put me in Serenity Village. You know what I mean? Now notice I just said men of integrity, not men of perfection. The Lord said King David was a man of integrity, a man of character. Well, if anybody you know about King David, he was far from perfect. All right? As far as making some pretty big mistakes in life. I could go into them, but I'll let you do that research. All right? But it's some significant things. But those things, the Lord knew his heart. And the Lord, it led him to repentance. Not an I'm sorry, but a repentance. And he turned away from the things he was doing and walked towards his Father. So in being around people of integrity is crucial in your recovery. It's crucial in life. Now, the title of this message is, Are You Willing to Pay the Price? Well, I can tell you this, and I put half measures avail us nothing in there because half measures don't avail half. Half measures avail nothing. It's not a 50-50 proposition. Shallow, and I really got it out of shallow Christians. If you're a shallow Christian, you're not doing your faith any help. You're pushing people away from the faith and the spirituality rather than God leading them towards it and towards him. So if you call yourself a Christian and you're half measuring it, I'd look yourself in the mirror. It caused me to look myself in the mirror. What do you represent? Him or yourself? In recovery, you half measure it, you die. You die. After a bunch of misery. It's not like there's a bunch of stuff that happens in between there. It all is bad. And you die. Why does that happen? Well, let's just read right here. I'm not going to read the whole thing about half measures, but we'll start here. Our stories disclose in a general way that we used to be like, or what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided something you need to do, you have to choose. You've got to make that decision. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length, then you are ready to take certain steps. Where do these steps lead you? Right here. These are the promises. All right? Now, I had no less than 24 pages front and back of the promises matched up with the promises that the Lord said, promises in the Bible. But I'll just show you the promises of AA right here. Let's read them in case we forgot. And yes, I'm being a little aggressive because The sin angers me to no end. And when I mean angry, dude, I mean that rageful kind that it makes you can't even handle yourself. And the sadness is just overwhelming. There's no reason any of us have to die. None of us, the reason I didn't read that whole thing is because there's people in here that think of themselves as the unfortunate, and they're not. They're not. There is not one unfortunate in this room. Not one. If you made it to this meeting, you are not an unfortunate. The AA promises, if you are painstaking about this phase of your development, that means no half measures. That means no, I'm going to do recovery my way, like the Burger King commercial. Recovery doesn't go on sale. There's no half price and there's no discounts. It's all of you. All of you. Now, a logical question when the guy up here says all, well, I think I'm giving myself all. I think I'm giving all of myself to it. There's more. He never stops revealing stuff in us. Ever. There's always more. But as far as you are concerned, and I am concerned, we have to be willing to give it all. It's a posture. It's a heart. It's the motive of the heart. Do you see what I'm saying? Number 2, we are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. Man, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? I just don't know if I want to do it because I think I could find happiness somewhere else. I wish that to be true. Trust me, this is hard work, man. I mean, there are times I'm not going to lie to you. I wish there was a different way. I really do. I'm like, man, there's got to be something. There's got to be something easier. There's not. There's not. I'm telling you that experientially. There is not an easier, softer way. And though it feels overwhelming, it just feels like you're never going to be able to overcome the things in your life. I don't expect you to trust me, but I'm going to say it anyway. Trust me, he will exceed your expectations. By so much, it's not even measurable. It's not measurable in human measurements and all that stuff. I mean, it is. There's so many examples in this room of fruit and blessings. First and foremost, the fact that we're alive and we're able to function and our brains are able to work. You know what I mean? That alone, if that is all he did, that'd be enough, right? Because we don't deserve that. I mean, my brain I should just be stuck in a certain position and my brain just is a disaster. Number 3, we will not regret our past nor wish to shut the door on it. Wouldn't that feel good? You were that person, but you're not anymore. No shame, no guilt, none of that. That is a 100% guarantee if you don't quit, by the way. A 100% guarantee. Your past won't dictate your future. You'll know your futures, or your past won't dictate your future. You'll know your past is forgiven. Therefore, because of that, you'll be able to be present. And you will have confidence. Even though you don't know what the future looks like, you'll have confidence in him that you're secure. You won't be out there fishing around and trying new things and trying to figure out what's going to happen 2 years from now. Don't worry about it. You keep your eyes fixed on him, the author and creator of your faith. It'll work itself out. And better than you could possibly manipulate. You know what I mean? Because we're a bunch of manipulating people. Oh, we'll just work it in here and, with the best intentions, mind you. We all have those, you know. Number 4, we will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. And when I'm talking know peace, I'm talking it's part of who you are. It has value. You will recognize when it's not there. There will be times when you will start to notice you lose peace, and it'll be like your barometer for maybe I shouldn't do that. Your peace is gone, all of a sudden your anxiety kicks up. And I'm not talking like the eager expectation anxiety. I'm talking about the, uh-oh, what if somebody finds out anxiety? What's your peace worth to you? Number 5, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experiences can benefit others. Each and every one of you. Each and every one of you has something to offer someone else in this world. They need you to recover for them. Now, it's probably more than one person, but we don't want to get overwhelmed. Let's just say each and every one of you has one person. It's probably way more than that, but we'll just say one because, we don't want the burden to be too great. You will impact your story of freedom, your journey. Someone out there needs to hear it. They need to see it. You know what I mean? Because we don't listen. I'm up here talking, I might as well be talking to myself because most of us don't listen. Do you know what I mean? We're here to get the sign. We kind of like it, but it's just some of it's good, some of it's bad. I know because I sat in those seats and didn't listen to nothing most of the time. You know what I mean? I thought I was at a movie and it was boring. But you watch. We're really good watchers, dude. Some of us have to sit in the back of the room because we don't want anybody behind us so we can watch everybody. You know what I mean? We watch what people do. People need to see the fruit in your life. What's AA say? This is a program of attraction rather than promotion. When they see you handle a certain situation, respond in a correct manner, they start to get curious, and all of a sudden they come up to you and they ask you a question. And when they ask you a question, that's an open opportunity to tell them about your God. Because it's not you. Because if it was us, we'd smack the taste out of their mouth, right? 2 seconds. I don't even got to think about it. Because people talk sideways to us, right? They say certain things, they do certain things, we get feeling a certain sort of way, right? People see that. And when they see you not respond, something about your life is attractive, and they're curious about it. That's the 12th step, mind you. What's the 12th step? Does anybody know? Carry this message, right? The same as the Great Commission in the Bible. AA doesn't have anything to do with the Bible. Are you kidding me? I'm going to read a verse in a little bit where it takes you through steps 4 through 12. In one verse, like one. So if anybody wants to come to my office and debate me about AA and the Bible and whatever, calm down. Just calm down, take a breath, and my phone number is 612-723-7612. And we can have a chat. I used to be that guy, AA, there's no God in AA. I was hyper-religious and all that stuff, nonsense, foolishness. My God can work through anything. Light bulb, styrofoam cup, cigarette butt, doesn't matter. He'll use anything to lead you to him. No questions? Okay. The feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear, thank God, because I had lots of that. 7, we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in fellows. Uh-oh. You become selfless. Self-seeking ways slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Number 10, fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. And 12, we will suddenly realize God is doing for us what we couldn't do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? No, they're not. They are being fulfilled among us, some quickly, sometimes slowly, and they will always materialize if we work for them. Half measures will avail us nothing. Now, we're going to dive into what half measures looks like. What wanting your recovery at a discount looks like. Even though most of us are pretty clear and understand, I'm just going to drive it home. And when I mean drive it home, I mean a 16-penny nail through a board. Because we got thick heads. And it's not that our heads are thick, it's that our egos are way too big. It isn't going to happen to me. I'm special. And I'm talking about myself, dude. I thought it was going to happen to me. And I didn't really think that, but my actions showed it. I know better, right? You don't know what you're talking about. In Job 10:1, it says this, I can't stand my life. Let me tell you about Job a little bit. Job was also a guy that the Lord said, he is a man of integrity. And then Job got around a bunch of his friends, around buddies, co-signers, when he was going through trials, and they co-signed the crap out of him, dude, and just were like, yep, Job, that's right, it's everybody else's fault, it's not your own. Now go complain. Job says this, I can't stand my life, I hate it. I'm putting it all out on the table, all my bitterness of life. If your recovery is like this, I'm not even going to say your recovery, I'm going to say your life. If your life is up and down like a roller coaster, half measure. Half measure. Jeremiah, this is a harsh one. Jeremiah 15:6 says this, if you have rejected me, declares the Lord, you keep on backsliding. If you don't know what backsliding means, I'll explain it to you, but it'll come up in the next 2 verses. So I will reach out and destroy you. In my mind, what I think that is this. I'm going to all right, you want her and everything that entails? Go ahead. He leaves us to our own devices. He doesn't leave you, you leave him to chase that. And we all know this. We're free to make any choice we want, but we're not free from the consequences of that choice, right? I can't pick my consequence. It is what it is. 2 Peter 2:21 through 22. Now you'll get a better understanding of what backslidden is this. It would have been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. Now, you don't have to agree with the word I'm saying up here. Didn't you guys sign the little thing when you came in? The fine print you didn't read. It says, you've heard the truth, you're now accountable for it. Regardless of whether you believe it or not is irrelevant in this matter. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. You've heard the truth, now you're responsible for it. It would have been better that you did not know than to know the truth and go back to your miserable ways. This isn't for me. Who's ever relapsed from a faith-based treatment before if you went to Teen Challenge? Raise your hands. Did it suck? Even worse? Way worse, right? Why? Because you've heard the truth. I could relapse from Hazelton and non-faith-based treatments like nothing, no problem. I go to one faith-based treatment, stupidest thing I ever did, and dude, I couldn't get away with anything after that. Nothing. I'd get high and then feel bad about it. You want to ruin an addict's time? Give him a conscience. I remember this dude. I robbed this dude. I shouldn't even say it. All right, I robbed this dude. Got away with it scot-free. Probably the cleanest robbery I ever did. I mean, it was slick as snot, super smooth. I get home and I feel bad. Like, not bad enough to return the money, but I felt bad. I felt bad, dude. I'm like, what did I do? That's what happens when you go to a faith-based treatment. Well, now you came to a faith-based meeting, so now you're really in trouble. Same thing. I mean, got to read the fine print. Galatians 4:8-9 says this, formerly when I did not know God, you were slaves to those who by nature weren't gods. But now that you know God, or rather are known by him, that's that relational piece. How is it that you are turning back to your weak and miserable principles? Do you wish to be enslaved all over? Because that's what's going to happen. And it happens quicker. It's slavery you can't even imagine. You think you're going to go back out there and everything's going to be the way it was? No. It doesn't work that way. It's worse. Consequences are worse. We can tell you that, and there's enough evidence in this room that if you were to just ask a few people, they would tell you what I'm saying is true. Don't do it, man. It's going to be worse for you, but you're going to do it anyway. Most likely. And it's because of places like this at New Hope Center where I work, we keep the light on for you. If you make it back. And that's a big if. Because there's only a few things, I mean, our futures are already written if we stay out there. There's only a few things that happen. You recover or you die. That's what happens. You need to decide. The Lord is faithful, man. He surrounds you with a great cloud of witnesses. There isn't one person in this room that wants the person to the right or left of them to die. And I'm willing to bet that they will do anything in their power to help that not happen. And knowing our hearts, probably want it more for you than you want it for yourself. I know that's one of my problems. It's my heart just, sometimes I'll drag them along, like, when I'm not really doing them any good, but at least they're alive, you know what I mean? You have to know your enemy. Have you ever noticed, this came to me just when I got here at 5 and I was just looking over the message and the Lord just started downloading things to me. And then I just started putting them in my own words, which sometimes is a little bit risky. But have you ever noticed that the enemy doesn't give you something you don't want? He doesn't put something in front of you that's like, I don't want that. He puts it in that box thing you barely can even handle yourself. Like, you're all nervous and, it's the best thing since sliced bread. You gotta have it. There's not even a decision. You're like, nope, I gotta have it. Even though you know you shouldn't, you gotta have it. Here's the thing. It's real difficult to fight an enemy that you just got done sleeping with. And I'm not talking necessarily about men and women. I'm just talking about your flirt. Half measures avails us nothing is flirting. I'm going to flirt with that. And then when you've been flirting for a couple weeks, and he or she wants a commitment, then you back off and you wonder why it's hard. I'm flirting with that. And now the perfect scenario has come up. People are believing my lies, at least I think they are. And now I got to make a decision. Do I go all the way? Or do I back away? And then you come to your house manager or sponsor and go complain to them, or just backing away is hard. And you wonder why you can't do it. What are you flirting with? Why are you flirting? What does that have for you that you're not getting? Why don't you trust him? That's where it is. You just don't trust that he's going to meet all your needs. In Philippians 1:6, he tells you that. He who started a good work in you will complete it. Do you trust him? In Ephesians 6:22, for we struggle against flesh and blood. For instance, for we struggle not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, and against powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms. It's not against people. It's you. It's not to the person to the left or right of you. It's not your counselor. It's not your sponsor. It's not your mentor. It's not Pastor Jeff. It's not me. It's not your boss. It's not your manager. It's not your little brother. It's not your mom or your dad or your grandpa that touched you in the naughty place. It isn't any of that. It's you. And yes, I just said that. I'm telling you that from experience. I blame my life on my grandpa who stole my childhood and use that as an excuse. It's not. Be responsible for yourself. It's not their fault. Your battle is not against them. It's not. It's bigger than that. It's a spiritual battle, and a lot of it dwells right in you. If you walk around with unforgiveness and resentments, they will win. My grandpa would still be winning inside of me right now if I wouldn't have forgiven him. Does he deserve it? No, but do you deserve it? Absolutely not. Just think if the Lord waited around to forgive you. We'd be sitting here looking at our watches going, man, I've been here longer than him. Come on. No, you will never deserve it. It's not about deserving. It's about freeing yourself up. I know this is pain. Some of this is hard, and I'm coming at you kind of weird, but like I said, dude, our egos are tough. They're thick. You know what I mean? We're dense. I wish I could just say, you know what, dude, it's just your ego. You'll be, But we don't get it. We say we do. We're bobbleheads. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But then we go do the same thing. You know what I mean? Just be, I would respect you more if you said, yep, I get it, but I'm still going to do it. Tell me that. Don't just bobble your head up and down. Oh, yeah. Okay. That does nobody any good. At least you'd have my respect. He's honest. I can appreciate that. John 10:10. The enemy in your life, it's only one thing: to kill you. The thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That is the end of it. That shiny box, that thing you can't help but just, I gotta have it. That's what's inside of it. That's what's at the end of that relationship that you shouldn't have been in. That thing you're flirting with, that's what's at the end of it. And that's what he'll take from you. And not only does he take it from you, but then your son loses a father or a mother. And a mom loses a grandson or their child. Our egos tell us it's all about us, but it's not. I remember telling I had to go to a counselor once, when they try to do those interventions when you're like 15, my kid's being bad. And I told the therapist, I go, I'll smoke an ounce joint a week with my friends. I'll share it because I don't want to be greedy. I'll share with everybody as long as my bills are paid and I got a place to live. And I go on vacation. That's what I told the guy. I had no plans on quitting. I don't know why I just said that. That was really weird. Because it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. It'll come back to me. There's got to be a reason. John 6:11 says this. Dude. About judgment, because the ruler and the evil genius, the prince of this world, Satan, is judged and condemned and sentenced to death. That's why he does what he does. There's no gray area there, not at all. He judges because he has been judged and condemned already. His whole thing is what? Deception. Is it not? Discord, division, temptation to get you away from the herd, to get you away from the body. And what happens? And when you half measure, by the way, you're doing him a stinking favor. Don't come complain to me because you're getting tempted when you're half measuring it. You see what I mean? At least be smart enough to know that you walked away. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave them. I can still see them. I'm going to be over here. Just what? Okay, they're there. What's going on over here? Dude, that's when you get ate up. That's when you get ate up. That's when you're way over here, and the herd's over there, and you're like, oh. And then you look down, and there's that, you know what we find on the street. Because we never find it when we're high. But when we're not getting high, we find dope all the time. I'm just telling you, that's reality right there. I mean, I have found more dope since I've been sober in 13 years than I ever found when I was getting high. But that's what happens. That's what happens. Old girl walks by. Something to distract you, and dude, it's the enemy. I mean, the setup is obvious. So obvious. You got to be smarter than the game. Galatians 5:17. The sinful nature wants to do evil. Understand this. Yes, I know you've done some good things. And you've had good intentions. So have I. Even in my fleshly stuff, I argue with this verse all the time. Well, I did some good things when I was doing that. No, I didn't. I did some good things to do some bad things. That's what I did. Because it distracted you from, or somehow I was manipulating you. I don't know how, but I was. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably were too. I know these are hard. She doesn't know me. Dude, I know the addict because I am one. I am one, dude. And if you say you haven't done that yet, you're just a hypocrite. You haven't been out there long enough. I mean, we are capable of anything. I would never do that. Think of the things you said you would never do. I won't smoke crack, that's dirty. What? I mean, I had a guy say, I never smoke crack, I just freebase. Oh. That made me, I kind of looked like this with my head. I'm like, okay. That still amazes me when I hear that. The sinful nature wants to do evil, which is the opposite of what the Spirit wants. That's that battle going on in you, that conflict. That conflict when you've heard the truth and you go and step over onto the other side for a while, and you feel some sort of way about it, and you got to do more to quiet that down, right? That's that battle. Does the battle get quieter? Absolutely. You know how it gets quieter? It's a simple truth. What you feed wins. You feed the spirit, man, trust me, those thoughts and voices and all that sort of stuff are still there, but they're a lot quieter. And they're easier to overcome. Remember this, the enemy is powerless to do anything unless you say yes and amen to it. Unless you cooperate. You're more powerful than you think. You're not this feeble, weak person. You have more to say than you actually think. It's not, oh, you know, I just... No. No, 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 no. He's the weak one, not you, not me. I'm the one that gives my power away. My God-given power to say no. I'm not going to do that. And we're going to go into that right now because this is the good news. I've been telling you the bad news for the last 28 minutes. And I'm tired of talking about the bad news. I want to talk about the good news. Yeah? Good news. All right, here we go. So, we've made a decision. I'm just going to pretend we've all made a decision not to have measured anymore. All right? I don't care if you make the decision because you think I'm going to be mad at you. If that's what motivates you, good. Just make the decision not to have measured anymore. So you've made this decision, but make sure you read the fine print. Because what you're actually making a decision when you say I'm not going to half measure it, you're making this decision right here. Matthew 16:25 says this. God, I will not half measure it anymore. So what I'm really saying is this. I want to save my life, but how do I do that? Well, for whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. He wants all of you. He desires all of you. The enemy needs you. The Lord doesn't need you. I hate to, for you to be upset. He desires you. He wants relationship with you. And when I mean desire like you don't even know you can't even imagine. He desires you like nobody's business. But he's not going to force you. Not going to force you. You need to choose him. You've already been chosen. You know what I mean? His mind's made up about you. You're beautifully and wonderfully made, and he loves you, and nothing you can do. You can't be good enough or bad enough for him to change his mind. It ain't happening. 2 Peter. So now that you've decided you're not going to half measure, and you're like, all right, whoever loses I'm going to lose my life for the Lord. Well, here's some things you're going to know you need to do, all right? 2 Peter 1:5-7 says this. For this very reason, because, Lord, I am giving my life to you. Because I am giving my life to you, these are some things that I am going to do. I am going to make every effort to add to my faith goodness. And to goodness, knowledge. Now, to you super hyper religious people, that's 4-7 in the big book. That are arguing with me about whether AA has got anything to do with the Bible. Well, there's step 4-7 right there. That's called self-awareness, by the way, knowledge. And to knowledge, self-control, that's steps 8 and 9. So let's see, we went through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're almost there. And to self-control, perseverance, again, there's step 10 and 11. And to perseverance, godliness. And to godliness, mutual affection. And to mutual affection, love. Oops, I did it again. There's step 12. Remember when we were reading, I was reading at the beginning and I was talking about half measures. And it says, but there is one who shall have all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures avail us nothing. We stood at the turning point and we asked for his protection and care. And then we follow the steps. Well, there's your steps right there. You made a decision. Lord, I want to lose my life for you. And these are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to make every effort to add to my faith goodness. And to goodness, knowledge, steps 4-7. Self-awareness. And to knowledge, self-control, steps 8 and 9. And to self-control, perseverance, step 10 and 11. And to perseverance, godliness, and to godliness, mutual affection, and to mutual affection, love, step 12. Now, after that, Luke 9:23 says this. Then he said to them all, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. What does that mean? Take up my cross daily. Take up your daily struggles. Pick up your life, put it on your shoulder, and keep going with him. He says this, what does he say? My yoke is, what is that? Anyway. I know it, I just can't say it verbatim, so I'm going to be quiet. We had to deny ourselves. That means that shiny package, you're going to love it. You're going to not love it, but you're going to be distracted by it. You're like, oh my gosh, look at that thing. I want it. I'll be like that little kid in the toy store, where the mom says, don't ask for anything before you go in the store. And you get down the aisle and you're like, I want that. And the dad comes and asks you what you're pointing at. I want that right there. And it's that nice fire truck. but you don't want to say anything, you know? That's what's in that little red box right there. They get all excited. I got to deny myself. And there's good news. Well, how do I deny myself when everything in my flesh wants it and it's screaming? Like I know I shouldn't, but I really do. How do we do that? Well, guess what? We're going to get to it. 1 Peter 4, 12 through 13, it says this, "Dear friends, don't be surprised by the fiery trials that you are going through, as if something strange were happening. Instead, be very glad and be grateful." How can I be grateful by trials? I'm going to let you know. "For these trials make you partners with Christ." That's relationship, by the way. And not just a surfacey relationship, but a deep relationship. Anybody that's married in here knows that when you go through trials with the person you love and it doesn't destroy you, what does it do? It makes you stronger, and it grows that connection tighter and deeper. Nothing, you can't even explain it to a single person. Person that's not married, you can't explain it. It is the most beautiful thing ever, and it's so backwards. You think it, when you're getting along great and everything's going good and all the bills are paid and you're going to go on a vacation, not a family one, but a vacation, it would be just the most fabulous thing on the planet. And that's when you grow together. No, when you grow together is in the valley. What happens in the valley? Is the valley beautiful? Is it usually full of like streams and it's green and it's amazing, right? Things grow in the valley, don't they? They don't grow on the mountaintop. Mountaintop is bare. Not to mention you're dying from lack of oxygen. The view is good though, right? The view, oh my gosh, it's the best view on the planet. I'm so close to God. Yeah, that's good for about 15 minutes and then you gotta go down. The valley is, dude, yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because the Lord is with me. Dude, you walk through those trials with him, I mean, it is the fruit. Let me just tell you this, the fruit that you have with people, your relationships deepen, your relationship with him deepens. I mean, it is an awesome thing. It is an awesome thing. The trials are it's almost like they're a tool to bring you out of whatever you're in. They're compliments, to be honest with you. If something comes in your life and the Lord is bringing it to you, and it's a trial and it's whatever, all right, he's using that to bring something out in you that he wants you to work on. And when he does that, he doesn't just bring you something to go, I want this to come out in him because it's bad for him, or it's, a character defect or whatever. You think he just does that, or do you think he equips you to walk through it? He equips you to walk through it. He gives you the strength, he gives you the courage, he gives you the hope to walk through whatever is coming out in you. Do you see what I mean? He doesn't just bring you to something and leave you. So it's a compliment. It's saying you're ready. You weren't ready before. You weren't mature enough to handle it before, but now I can bring you to this thing, and your anger can come out. You can totally make a mess of it, but you'll be able to handle the correction because you're more mature now, and the constructive criticism. And I'm going to give you the strength and the courage to walk through that. Now, there's no clapping, and that's fine, but I'm going to tell you this is good news. This is really good news because you're maturing. I'll say it again so it sinks in, because I know our egos are thick. The trials are a tool to bring things out in us that God is calling us out to work on. If he brings it to you, he will equip you to walk through it. In reality, trials are a compliment. He's saying you're ready. And the fruit on the other end is this. Dude, trials build relationships. What the devil meant for evil, the Lord will turn around and, absolutely. Some of my best, deepest friendships and in my marriage, it's because of the trials. It's not because I'm a good friend, I can tell you that. I do bad, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. But because I won't quit, because I know who I am and whose I am, the relationships continue to grow and grow deep. Second Corinthians 4:8-10. Now because, first of all, let me backtrack. Because of Matthew 16:25, because I know and I made the decision and I read the fine print that if I'm going to go all in recovery, I need to go all in with him. And what does that mean? It means I'm going to lose my life, but gain my life because I'm doing it with him and for him. Do you see what I mean? I'm willing to do that. And after I make that decision, I'm going to make every effort. That means I'm not going to think I know it all. I'm going to do what I'm told. I'm going to follow instruction and not do it my own way. We're really good at doing that. Trying to freestyle it in recovery. No, do what your sponsor says. Exactly what he says and how he does it. That's why he's your sponsor. He's not your buddy. He's not your friend. If he becomes your friend, fire him. Because his judgment is clouded then. I've been fired a few times because we just get too friendly. And I'm not offended because I know. You know what I mean? I'm compromised. I wish I wasn't, but it happens. You know what I mean? And my sponsees that fired me are blessed because of it. And once we begin to deny ourselves, deny those little shiny boxes and the hot chicks and the fast money and all of that stuff, the stuff that the enemy puts in front of us to distract us and get us away from the herd, we start to deny ourselves, and when we deny ourselves, it empowers us. And when trials start to come, we're not so slow, we're quicker to respond by looking to him and knowing that it's not about the trial. It's not about what we're going through. Excuse my nose. It's not about what we're going through. And we can be grateful in it and not because of it. And then 2 Corinthians comes, and I love this, dude. I love this so much. It says, we are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. And the reason is this, is that we will always carry around in our bodies the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may be revealed in our body. Now let me break that down real simple in AA terms. This is a program of attraction rather than promotion. The Lord is in you. It reflects out of you, and people are attracted to it. Remember earlier I said people will be attracted to you because you'll be different. You'll act different. You'll respond instead of react to certain things. They'll be drawn to you, and they'll ask you questions. And when they do that, it's an open invitation to tell them about your God. It isn't me, but it's the God in me that allows that to happen. And you'll have the wisdom and discernment about what words to use and all that. But that's what that means. That's what that means. God is most glorified in you guys when you are most satisfied in him. Let that sink in. His glory will come out of you. It'll permeate from your body. In Romans 8, 37 and 39, it says this, know in all, and I wrote, it should be K-N-O-W, but know in all this, that we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Let me tell you this, having a posture of being more than a conqueror isn't like flexing your muscle. It is, and it's it's the strongest posture on the planet. You're on your knees in faith. You're humble. And the reason you are like that is because your confidence comes from him, not in yourself. It's the only reason I'm able to be up here. I have no idea if I've made sense the last 44 minutes. And the only reason I know what time it is because there's a stinking thing right there. But I have no, if you'll ask me what I said after this, I'll be like, I don't know. I hope it was good. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I really don't. And the only reason I can get up here is because my confidence lies in him and not in myself. So know this, that you are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am convinced neither death nor life nor angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth nor anything else in creation will be able to separate you from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus your Lord. That is 100% true. But not if you half measure it. Not if you're waiting for recovery or freedom or life to go on sale, because it doesn't. Ever. Ever. There's no half measures. It doesn't, it's not a 50-50 proposition. It doesn't avail half. It avails nothing, and that nothing for you and me is death. Death. So what do we need to do? In Matthew 6:33, it says this, but seek first the kingdom and all its righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. What that is saying is this, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith. Have that strong posture as you're more than a conqueror, because your confidence lies in him and not in yourself. And trust in Philippians 1:6 that says this, that he who began a good work in you will complete it. If you do that, the cost doesn't matter. It costs what it costs. If you've ever built a house before and they give you one number, trust me, that number's going to change. It costs what it costs. It doesn't matter, though, because you know that your past is forgiven and your present has meaning and your future secure in him. Are you willing to recover? Only you can answer that question. But everybody will be able to see it. There's no reason for anyone to die again. No, we don't have to lose anyone in this room. Are you willing to recover? Are you willing to pay full price? Because it's going to cost you everything you have. Your life. That sweet life that you built. Yeah? All of our lives ended up the same, right? Nothing. Nothing. The life he offers you, I wish I could have testimony time right now. I mean, the life that he's offering you is one you can't even imagine. Good doesn't even begin to describe it. And yes, it's hard. And yes, it's painful. But you go through the pain and you go through the hardness in the confidence, but it's already been won. There's a reason you're going through it. It's not, oh, I just want to watch him squirm. No. It's because when you go through those things and you go through those trials and you persevere through them, it matures you. It heals you. Part of the reason that my past doesn't dictate my future anymore is because the trials that I went through. And now how does the Lord use them? He brings people that have had their childhood stolen to me. I don't ask for them to come to me, they just do. You know what I mean? So the enemy's not winning. You know what I mean? My grandfather's not winning. That sin died with him. And not only that, The Lord said, nope, now you're going to take part in healing other people. So, you have to make a decision, and it's on you. It's not on anybody else. Make that decision. Decision to lose your life for him. If there was another way, I would tell you. I'd sell it to you. But this is me begging without begging right now. Like, I want it for you so bad, my mouth is salivating. But I can't, no one can do it for you. They can do it with you. That's what sponsors and mentors are. That's what he will do. So make that decision, y'all. Make that decision. It's worth it. All right.